Hi guys, so today we're going to be talking about body image, but what I'm going to be doing is using what's known as a functional medicine approach to help you kind of look at where you actually develop maybe issues with body confidence and kind of lack of self-esteem, because once you know the origin and kind of maybe the cause or the event that triggered these thoughts in you, you can kind of realize that actually, you know, well, that was then, it's not the case now, it's not necessarily a reality, I've held that thought with me, but actually it's not really a truth, and it can actually just help kind of boost up your confidence and kind of put these thoughts behind you and just move forward. It definitely helped me when I came to understand functional medicine. I actually use it to help clients with things like digestive issues, thyroid problems, reproductive hormone problems, but I started to apply it to kind of my own health history, which, you know, how we think is a big part of that, and gradually started to realize that actually some of the things I put myself through and thought I needed to do because my body wasn't good enough in so many ways came from silly things, you know, from certain events and certain circumstances in my life, just certain things people said. So once you kind of know that, you can kind of like move forward and again just actually kind of realize that they don't need to define you any longer and dictate how you feel about yourself. So I'm just going to kick off with explaining. So the functional medicine approach looks at, so if you have any health symptom, any health condition, sorry, and there are symptoms, we look at what system in the body might be going wrong and causing that symptom. And the way that we establish that is by having a kind of an in-depth look at you as an individual and looking at antecedents, which is kind of predisposing factors to disease. So that's the health of your parents and your grandparents, especially mothers and grandmothers' health in pregnancy, massive impact on your own health. So they will be antecedents. Then we have things like triggers, which are single events that kind of can make you sick. So that might be, for example, food poisoning, or perhaps you travel and you get really sick from that experience. And then we have mediators, which don't cause the kind of condition, but they're driving it. So that would be something like bad nutrition, loads of stress, maybe pollution if you live in a city. So you can do the same thing when you kind of look at your body image, and we do it by drawing a timeline. So timeline here, this functional medicine timeline, you're born here, this is where you are now, and this is who you are, what you think, and the symptoms that you might be experiencing. But in the case of body image, we're going to say this is where you are now and this is how you feel about your body. How did you get here? What kind of factors contributed towards that? So I'm just going to talk you through my own and a few things. I'm not going to pull out all 37 years, we'll be here all day, but I'm going to pull out a few key things that I kind of look back on and think, yeah, I definitely think that made a difference, it contributed. So first of all, here is a lovely photo of my mum. Incredible, so beautiful, but as you can see, slim. So my mum never in her life has ever kind of said anything negative about my figure. She was probably very careful not to do that. But I think as a child, I kind of looked at her. My dad was very slim, and basically kind of made that decision that that was how we were supposed to look. And over time, I think I did become aware of my mum, you know, exercising, doing aerobics and dieting and kind of making choices with her food, you know, being careful about her food. And again, although I think she did make an effort not to kind of give that message to us, I just picked up on it as a young woman. And I kind of came to the conclusion that to gain weight, you know, just wasn't something that we did in our family. No one else was overweight. So that was something that I decided, you know, for myself. Next up, so I'm a teenager now. I'm actually quite lucky in that maybe because my parents are slim, but I'm also quite active. My dad, you know, kind of insisted that we earn money by mowing the lawn and painting and always doing jobs. So I'm pretty active around this time. So this is me as a teenager, and you know, I'm naturally just very slim. It's pretty effortless. And whilst my mum cooks me nice home cooked food, around this time, I'm 16, it all starts to go a bit wrong for me, because firstly I'm earning some money, so I start to buy my own food, which is basically chocolate and sweets. I also start to get, as I get a little bit older, sneaking into pubs, drinking alcohol. So things start to change for me on a hormonal level. So we talk about this as kind of we remove ourselves from the systems in the body a lot when we talk about body image and our health, but actually some things that I'm doing around this time are changing me hormonally, which is going to change the way I think. It's going to change my body composition, which is going to change, again, how I feel about my body. So around this time I also develop acne. So I've got a little sticker here. So I develop acne, and this is probably likely due to the sugar and the alcohol, possibly because I've entered puberty, hormones are changing as well, and they give me antibiotics to treat that, which has a massive impact on gut function. Loads and loads of antibiotics, and they don't work, so I then go on the contraceptive pill. So I think I've got a little sticky for that. Let me just see, I haven't. I go on the contraceptive pill anyway. Around this time, that changes my figure. So I start to gain weight very quickly, very easily. And I go from effortless size 8 to up, you know, dress size, I'm up at kind of a 12 very, very quickly. But I'm a teenager, I'm also eating McDonald's and I'm also going to the pub, so it could have been a few things. It's not just the pill, we can't blame that. So here we are, sorry, I'm about to go off to uni and my figure's changed massively. I've got big boobs, I'm struggling to get into my trousers, and I head off to university and this carries on. So at university, obviously more booze, poor nutrition, so again, disrupted blood sugar levels, and basically I start to feel pretty rubbish around this time as well. Mood just dives, again, possibly a result of estrogen excess because I'm on this heavy estrogen pill to try and beat the testosterone driven acne, and then also this time I'm away from home, I'm not near my boyfriend, my family, get very, very homesick, so I start to go running, so I start exercising around this time. And this basically becomes my saviour because all of a sudden I start to lose weight and I start to get the benefit of endorphins, feel amazing. And it's around this time that I also decide I'm at university, I'm going to go veggie. And some of this is driven by massive amounts of insecurity, not enjoying my course, not liking my environment. So I start to change what I can, and that's my body and my nutrition. And I start to decide that I need to be incredibly slim. Another factor is the relationship I'm in at this time. It's a little bit insecure and therefore I don't feel good enough. So I have to be good enough. And the way that I do that is by losing more and more weight. So I decide that if I'm maybe like under 8 stone, then that would be the place to be. Of course it wasn't. I got under 8 stone and then just kept going. So around this time I get incredibly skinny. I don't know if you guys can see there. And every time I go home, my mum and my grandparents, everyone says, "You're not eating enough," and I wasn't eating enough. But at this time also, some things that I'm doing, so because I'm exercising a lot, because I'm vegetarian, I've got no healthy fats, no omega-3s within my nutrition, so that could be driving this kind of obsessive compulsive behaviour, this kind of low self-esteem, lack of confidence, it's driving the mood even further. So the two are I'm in this vicious cycle basically, and orthorexia, this obsession with healthy eating and kind of changing your body, being very restrictive with your eating and over-exercising, is associated in some ways with the lack of these key nutrients which are vital for brain function. So I definitely look back and think, yeah, the nutrition side of it was definitely driving it, as well as the environment and the relationship that I was in at the time. So we can stick boyfriend on there because they are often kind of a contributing factor. Relationships generally have such a massive impact on how you feel about your body, so it's important to consider them. I'm going to fast forward a few years. I have a few more years of relationship mishaps. Another relationship I go into is just kind of easy, too comfortable, and I find myself kind of again drinking too much alcohol, eating too much chocolate. It's all very kind of it's just the wrong relationship and it's all a bit too complacent, and so I escape a little bit in those things. So again, I'm in this battle of kind of gaining a bit of weight and then trying to lose it again, gain weight, trying to lose it again. Really, the thing that's kind of lingering in the background of all this is I'm unhappy and I'm unfulfilled. I don't like my career, I'm in the wrong relationship. So again, all I kind of do is try and escape with chocolate, wine or running. Those 3 things just on rotation all the time. Next up, I come out of that relationship and I decide to really kind of hit the gym and get a personal trainer, and I get really into it, love it, get loads of friends. My physique really changes now, and I become, you can see, a little bit more muscly, and I also become known in the gym as being really active, kind of loving boxing, training. It kind of gives me status and I really like that, and loads of people are complimenting on my figure. And the problem with this is when people compliment you, you kind of then put yourself under a pressure to maintain that or even better than that. So again, you become very physique driven, whereas before you might have been just enjoying your boxing or whatever it might be, and you kind of set this standard, or other people are setting that standard by making these comments about your figure. Randomly I go off and become a personal trainer. I can't even believe I had the guts to do that, but the passion for exercise did always drive me there. And obviously I met Matt, my partner, and he was kind of like, you should be a trainer, you love it. But again, in that industry, huge amounts of pressure on myself to look a certain way and to be able to kind of wear a crop top, and people would then kind of trust me as a personal trainer and think that I knew my stuff. I always knew my stuff, but the figure side was very hard, and possibly because I pushed it too much. Not enough sleep, not good nutrition. Personal trainers usually eat a bit pants because you're on the go all the time and you just kind of grab and go food, and even if it's healthy choices, it's usually never enough for the amount of exercise you're doing, because it's all about kind of clients and training. So that's just kind of a few things that fed in over time as well. I will say, so the huge amounts of exercise and eating on the go and various other bits and bobs, and also maybe the antibiotics as a teenager, do lead to like massive problems with IBS. And we know that IBS again is linked to things like anxiety and depression. So again, does it start to fuel that kind of lack of confidence in me? I spent a lot of time fixing my gut once I got into nutritional therapy, and it's had a profound influence on my mood, along with other things. Obviously, I'm now with a great guy, so I meet this guy, changed the relationship. He is hugely complimentary of me, not just my figure, but everything about me, and that changes me because, you know, I kind of feel actually this is the right person. We have loads of fun together, but he reinforces just so much positive, you know, kind of positive messages to me about how I look and what I do, and everything from my studying to, you know, not just my figure. He always comments on other things. So I'm in the right relationship. Apart from a short period of trying to eat the same amount as Matt, which I had to kind of correct slightly portion size wise, I've found that balance now because I've got a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment in what I do for a career. I'm in the right relationship. I've fixed my gut. My skin as a result is fine. So one thing about the acne I didn't mention earlier is the outbreaks of acne I've had over time as I was kind of being treated with the pill and had PCOS. It basically kind of led me to overtrain again and undereat because I couldn't control my skin, so I tried to control other things, which was basically my body, and a huge like confidence just goes, you know, down the toilet when you have acne, especially in my 20s, and I was in meetings with people and, you know, really kind of distraught about my skin. So that again was one of the kind of factors, one of the triggers we might say. So all of these different things are kind of what we might call, some were triggering events, so like a comment made about my figure might be a triggering event. An antecedent might be my mum, and kind of looking back at her parents as well, very slim, very fit, always kind of conscious of their physique. So again, that message was coming through to me. And then of course we just had the mediators, which were things like my nutrition wasn't great, the relationships weren't right for me, so they drove me to turn on myself. And really what I ultimately had to do was kind of find my own happiness by addressing all of this, and also then a little bit of kind of supplement intervention, dietary intervention could correct things like the digestive system, the endocrine system, so that's hormones, sorry, and also my neurotransmitters, my brain, my mood, and kind of having that better understanding of how my body works. And now we are truly kind of working together as a team. And this, guys, is a big message that Fit Food, so Matt and I are really passionate about you guys really kind of coming together and working with your body, knowing how it works, what food it really gets fueled by, what other things are essential, and that's everything from relationships, environment, to getting enough sleep, to having that kind of reason for getting out of bed every day. All of these things really affect your health, and if some of them are off, it's really hard for any of the other stuff to work. You know, you can eat an amazing diet, but if there's something in the background that's really driving you towards kind of destructive behavior, you've got to tackle that as well. And this is just to give you an insight into what that might be. So hopefully you found it useful. Again, on Fit 16, we talk about body image, and we start you off by, you know, you and your body coming together, work as a team. You're together for the rest of your life. You've got to start to accept parts of your body and love love all of your body ideally, but ultimately, you know, basically making sure that you're supporting it throughout your whole health journey, and so that you can go off and do cool stuff in life. So if you do want some more help from us on this topic, if it's something that's really kind of affected you, we have loads of information and resources. Jump in the comments box below and just put my body, and we can get in touch with you and help you a little bit more in terms of you know, just loving your body more and building up your body confidence and self-esteem. Hope you enjoyed this, and look forward to helping you and working with you in the future.